All right, track 4, sometimes. So honestly, this is definitely up there on my favorites in the album. And in a way, with it being track 4, if you go back to track 3, which is My Reality, you can actually kind of tell in some ways it's actually a very, very similar message in both songs, which is kind of why I put them right there together on the album. Because they both end up saying that everything will work out, maybe not the way that you had expected, but according to God's plan, which it may look way different than what you ever would have dreamed. But basically, it's saying that everything will end up working out because He's there for you. And so, really, the day that I wrote sometimes, um, it was on a day that I had an opportunity come up. I won't go too much in detail, but I had an opportunity come up and it seemed amazing. But as I kind of pursued it, it completely fell apart at the seams. It was very, very disappointing. But nothing, absolutely nothing worked out with it as planned. Um, and so I just kind of started writing a little bit to vent. That's how a lot of my writing kind of starts in some ways. I would say a good 50% of the time. But basically, I started writing just out of disappointment, and it was just sometimes conversations don't go near the way we planned. Sometimes the life we tried to build won't seem to stand like that. I think that's from verse 2. But basically, just the fact that sometimes this, sometimes that. It just the majority of the verse, both verses actually, it just kind of goes over the fact that you know life is unpredictable. Sometimes it's great, but sometimes it's not so great, and things don't work. And so, really, overall, it's just the verses kind of acknowledge the fact that sometimes life doesn't work out, but then the end of the song, the end of every chorus, I ended it by saying, "Your grace doesn't only come through sometimes." And what that means to me is the fact that, life, as I said before, life is absolutely unpredictable. The one predictable thing is God. Because, and I mean that in the best way possible, because, like, literally, we can predict that even though it may not look the way that we had thought, we can predict the fact that He will always be there for us. He will always love us. He will always have more grace and more truth, more mercy. We can stake our life on that, and we do. And so that's really just, that's sometimes because the verses, again, it just talks about, sometimes it doesn't work out, but His grace doesn't only come through sometimes. It's something you can count on day in and day out for the rest of your life on through eternity. His grace doesn't only come through sometimes.